I have a vague childhood memory from my grade school days. I was with a group of friends and we were supposed to go talk to another group of kids in the neighborhood across the road. I didn't like those kids. I remember having a vague feeling that their leader was a bully. So I said we should have a code word, something that we'd work into the conversation if any of us wasn't feeling it. And the plan was, if one of us said the code word, we'd all just book ass immediately out of there back across the road and meet up at the playground. The code word, I said, is shish kebab. Never mind how we were supposed to work that casually into any conversation. It must have been something I'd recently heard that had stuck in my brain the way a novel and funny-sounding word can stay with you when you're a kid. But my friends all agreed that the code word was shish kebab, and we headed out together, going across the way past the White Hen pantry that was essentially the edge of my universe at the time, and we headed into this neighborhood still under development where we were supposed to meet up with the kid I didn't like. Funny thing though, all my friends seemed to like him just fine. They were all having a better time than I was anyway, and predictably, when I blurted out shish kebab in the middle of a completely unrelated conversation, like an absolute goon, and tore off running back towards our neighborhood, nobody followed me. Silly childhood memories aside, there's nothing funny about the words shish or kebab or the combination of the two, aside from presumably the thought of 10-year-old me shouting it as a nonsense phrase and running away from his friends like an idiot. Shish comes from the Turkish, meaning skewer, and kebab comes from an Arabic word meaning roasted meat. Shish kebab describes a range of dishes, all featuring various types of meat that are skewered and cooked over fire. And one of those dishes is called shish tawook. Tawook comes from another Turkish word meaning hen. Shish Tawook, then, is a dish of skewered chicken grilled over fire that, depending on the local cuisine, might be served with salad and rice, with roasted vegetables, with french fries, with hummus and pickles and toum, or might just be made into a sandwich. And you can probably guess where I'm going with this. I made my own toum, of course, and I added a little complexity to this intense garlic lemon sauce this time by replacing some of the oil with garlic confit that I made recently. And I marinated cubes of chicken breast overnight in a combination of yogurt, lemon juice, olive oil, and spices, and then grilled them on skewers over lumped charcoal. I fried some fries, shredded some lettuce, sliced up some Palestinian pickles into long, thin slivers, and even grilled some tomatoes to use in my shish tawook sandwiches, or wraps if you want to be a pedant. And that wrap started with a large, delicate Lebanese-style pita, warmed over the grill, and dressed with a thick bead of toum down the center. A big skewer of grilled marinated chicken, handfuls of hot salted french fries and cool strips of pickled wild cucumbers, grilled tomatoes, and shreds of green lettuce. The temptation here is to compare this to shawarma, but the differences go beyond the cooking method of discrete chunks on skewers versus layered slices on a vertical spit. Both feature marinated chicken, of course, but shawarma's marinade generally does not use yogurt and uses aromatic spices like coriander and cardamom, floral and fruity, while shish tawook's yogurt-based marinade tenderizes the meat more thoroughly, helping the lemon juice penetrate farther, giving the chicken an acidic citrus flavor that carries the warm spices of the marinade, cinnamon and allspice, almost directly to the sinuses. Here the fries add some bulk to the wrap, as well as providing some welcome breaks in intensity given the flavorful nature of the chicken, the toum, the pickles, even the intense umami of the grilled tomatoes. The shreds of green lettuce were also a welcome distraction, but the crisp bulk of iceberg may have been a better option here. I can see that there's a lot of different options to explore when it comes to shish tawook, and I've found many spots in the Chicago area that serve it, though they often call it chicken tawook, which seems redundant to me. I could spend a month eating a different shish tawook sandwich every day and barely scratch the surface. And to be honest, it doesn't sound like a bad project to take on.